All right, hello everyone. Today I have a very special guest with me. I have pro wrestling trainee Joseph Bell. How are you doing today?
Lovely. Honestly, this is all I've been waiting to do all day. I've had nothing to do apart from wait for this, so I'm happy it's come sooner than expected.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. So first of all, give everyone a little bit of a background on yourself, your pro wrestling training, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, I started wrestling at the World Association of Wrestling YC in Norwich, where I'm located now, obviously. Um, Yeah, I started it like really soon when compared to like when I actually got into wrestling because I started watching like a lot in around like 2016. I went back the other day on the WWE network
Hmm.
to look at like the stuff that I started watching. So it was like right around the whole Chris Jericho Kevin Owens Festival of Friendship thing, which I was very happy rewatching because it's probably one of the best like segments from that year. But yeah, so I started watching then, and then I think maybe like a year or even like maybe like a year or two, year and a half after, my mum asked me if I wanted to like get into it, like do lessons for it, which I didn't even think was a thing, especially especially like where I am, a fairly like rural area compared to most places. But yeah, I started training, um, and then I was kind of off and on, like I was kind of on and off for a while, and then like I got back into it not so long ago. Um, yeah, like I said, I was down in the YC for a while. We did all the training, got into shows pretty quickly. Yeah, I haven't been on like I haven't done any major stuff, but I'm getting there. I was hoping I was hoping that I'd do more around this time, but apparently not because viruses and stuff.
Exactly, exactly. Well, first of all, it's quite funny that you mentioned it because I actually the first matches I watched were also the Kevin Owens Chris Jericho feud. That's the exact same time I started watching, and so for me, I remember I think it was like the second week I started watching, and it was the Festival of Friendship ceremony, and that was just oh my gosh, that was so good. So,
Yeah.
what got you into watching pro wrestling?
So I think it's a similar kind of thing to most people where it started from like the WWE games. So I remember actually it's kind of a weird story because I don't even think I knew they had games until I watched a video game donkey video that had WWE 12 in it, and I bought it purely based on like the creation parts because around then like oh if games had good like character customization I'd want it. And yeah, so I got into that and started playing that, and I just thought it was like amazing. Like I played the I can't remember what they called it, but the story mode of that, where you play as Sheamus and you play as Triple H, and because of that game, Sheamus became my favorite wrestler and still is. Uh, which is, I think that's a weird kind of origin story from getting into wrestling pretty much from a YouTube video that I randomly saw. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, so then you said that your mom was the one who suggested that you go into training. Is that right?
yeah, I remember it. I remember it really clearly. Actually, there's one detail that I don't remember. I remember I was playing one of the WWE games. Uh, it was a tables match. I was playing as the British Bulldog. I think it might have been 2017, maybe. No, I think it was 2016, but the game was 2K17 at the time.
Mhm.
And yeah, she just brought it up, and I really didn't expect that because she's not really the type of person that would suggest something that I don't know, such a weird hobby, I guess.
So, so you've been studying pro wrestling for, you said 2016, so about 4 years. You said.
Yeah, it was kind of on and off
Hmm.
for a while. So like when I first started, there's so what it was. It's the YC first, so it's like pretty much any age until so when you turn 16, you go to the beginners, which I'm in now, which I've been in for a while. Um, yeah. So I started in the YC. I think I did two or three. I think three shows in total. Um, yeah, I think I had two rumbles and I had one-on-one match, one singles match. Yeah, and then so I went from there to I was off for quite a while. I think I hurt like my shoulder or something. I hurt something, so
Hmm.
I was off for quite a while, and then I was asking like the people that work there, like some of the trainers and stuff, like about getting back into it, like how much it costs, where, like when, where, all that basic stuff, and then I ended up getting back into it. It was really weird because I think it was they changed the building, so I was really confused. I think I didn't know any of the people there, so I was kind of there like on my own. I'd just sit in a corner and wait wait to be told to get in the ring, do a couple bumps and that. So yeah, I guess I've been doing it for quite a while now. Yeah.
So, what walk me through a normal uh training? Like, walk me through like how training works.
Yeah, so we'd get there at around, well, they say like 10, half 10, but you really need to be there before and warm up and that. So it's a warm up first, and then you'll do like the basic like stretches, warm up and stuff. Then we'd get after that get onto the bumps. So everyone would be lined up around the ring. First person in, they've got to do back bump. Everybody does a back bump. Then when we get to the first person again, front bump. Then go all the way around. Then it's yeah. Then it's a flip, if I'm remembering right. I haven't been there in a while now, but yeah. So there's a flip bump. Then there's rolling corner to corner, hitting the turnbuckles in the corner, running the ropes, doing a ring exit over the top. And we do in between we'd do like different ring exits, like baseball slides, like Foley roll out and everything. It's so yeah, all the kind of basics to begin with. Then we'd get on to, more stuff.
So, what would you classify like your style? Are you someone who enjoys like a more brawling type? Do you enjoy doing more of like a high flying? Like, if I was going into the WWE 2K Creative Suite and I wanted to create you exactly, how would I create you?
Well, the basics of like British wrestling is kind of like built on more technical stuff. So we're kind of built as technical wrestlers in the
Nice.
beginning, and then eventually we'll develop more of a style. So I'm kind of like a technical brawler kind of thing, I'll do a couple wrist locks, then I'll just boot you in the corner, all that sort of stuff. Maybe sticking a headbutt and a bite if I need to.
So what current so you said, and I can definitely tell from a lot of the British wrestlers that I've seen, is there one British wrestler that you look up to as, or you mentioned Sheamus, but at least you said very much for the technical style. Is there a wrestler that you look up to, like, okay, this is someone I kind of want to model myself after, or that I see a lot of things I want to do from?
Hmm. I always try and think of that, but where it comes to like technical stuff, I'm never really sure because God, I don't know. I think like because a lot of the wrestlers that I like, they're less technical, more just boot you in the face kind of people.
Hmm.
But I think one of the ones that can do like all of them, Samoa Joe definitely is a favorite. Like Kevin Owens as well. especially because he was one of the first people I like started watching properly with the whole sports entertainment style. But yeah, so those two, especially two that I like, especially because they're like bigger guys like I am as well. So it's like if they can do it, surely I can. You know?
So you've been watching for about the same time I have, about 4 years.
Yeah.
I know for me when I've been watching, WWE was a great entry drug, but I started finding more wrestling outside of just the WWE. Do you have certain companies or certain wrestlers that you always try to watch outside of the WWE?
Well, yeah. So mainly, I guess I'm a WWE guy.
Mm-hmm.
But then obviously, AEW, that's a big thing as well. Pac or Neville, he's another one of those people that I think is really good that I like to
Mm-hmm.
watch. So there you go. There's a British one for you. But yeah, I used to watch Ring of Honor quite a bit, and I tried to get into New Japan, but it just wasn't really my sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the like language barrier or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like wrestlers outside of the WWE. I think all the ones that I liked are probably in AEW now or in WWE.
That works.
Um,
AW works.
yeah, like whenever I like used to go on old Wrestler Move YouTube compilations and stuff, there would especially there would be like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels as well. I really like Christopher Daniels. All of SCU as well. I absolutely love SCU. I
They're
think
great.
they're probably like one of the top five teams for me. Have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, one thing that I've always seen when watching British wrestling, whether it be WWE coming to the United Kingdom or it being watching like a British indie match, is that the crowds are so much better than the American crowds, I would say. Like, I guess part of it is I see a lot of times for your other sports, all of your chants are incredible. Ever the energy is so high. Why do you think that is for British wrestling? Why do you think the British wrestling energy is always so top notch?
Yeah, that's one of the things I think about as well. I'm not really sure what it is. I remember when I've only been to like one WWE event. That was Raw. It was just after one of the Saudi Arabia shows, one of the first ones. And there was a Baron Corbin chant, which was like this old football chant, but they changed up the words to basically say that Baron Corbin was going bald at the time. Obviously, obviously now he is bald.
Yeah.
But I think that like the whole British crowd chant thing is maybe because wrestling isn't as big here. So it's kind of like when you get loads of people that like the same thing into one smaller area, they all kind of just come together and say whatever comes to their heads. Like my favorite chant from the episode of Raw I went to was Bobby's sisters, just shouting Bobby sisters over and over again because of the whole Bobby Lashley's sisters segments.
Yeah, those were horrible.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, so what is so are assuming you're going to be able to train at some point, hopefully this whole virus goes away. What is
Yeah.
your goal for the next year and then the next 5 years and then ultimately the next 10 years as a wrestler? What do you hope to get out of it? Do you have any sort of milestones that you're looking to get? What are you looking to do in the future?
Well, me and a couple of the other trainees, we're in this group chat. We've kind of formed our own faction without any of the bosses or any of the other people, any of the other trainees knowing about it. So I'm hoping that within within the next year we can kind of actually form that group, and pitch some storylines. We have like me and one of the members, Rockstar Rip Parker. There you go. There's a shout out for him. Uh, he's really good at pitching ideas, like whether it's names for moves, moves themselves, combinations of moves, storylines and stuff. So hopefully we can kind of come together and pitch something that the WAW bosses will want to actually present on some of their shows, and then hopefully that can grow even more. Maybe we can even recruit like other members or get rid of some members, beat them up, get beaten up as well, because that's obviously part of it. Yeah, the main goal now is kind of getting us out there more, get known more, because obviously I'm one of the beginners now, so not all the like regular crowd. They don't really know me. They might recognize me, but they won't recognize the name or anything else. Yeah.
What is something that someone who doesn't train for pro wrestling, what is something that we might be surprised about to hear about training? Something we might be surprised to know about?
It hurts a lot more than you'd expect. Because like, well, yeah, it hurts a lot sometimes because it's a lot of like early stuff you learn is all about strikes and stuff. So you get some solid forearms, you get some solid clotheslines all across the chest. If you get it wrong, you do it again, and you'll bruise from it. Running the ropes as well when you're first like learning how, it's really hard sometimes. I like depending on like the ring size, it all changes as well. I think the ones we usually have are 14 or 16 feet. Um, so yeah, running the ropes, you have to time it well. Usually you can get it in like 3 or 4 steps, and you turn and then. But corners as well. I'm really bad at doing running to corners without somebody throwing me into it, because I'll always either take one too many footsteps or not enough, and then just completely fail. But yeah, the ropes are a lot harder than you'd expect, I think.
So, so you said you've had one singles match, correct?
Yeah, so I had that really early on. I think the rest have been battle royals and rumble type matches.
So pick one of the matches that you've been in that's like your favorite match, like to yourself, a match that like you're really proud of, and walk me through how you got ready for that match, what was going on in your head during the match, and then anything that you might have figured out after the match, like feedback you might have gotten, some really cool behind the scenes stuff that you might be able to let me know about.
Yeah, I think I'll go through the last match I had, because I guess because it's the freshest in the mind. Um so I remember we were all like getting our gear on and stuff. Just I think we were the second to last match, so we were like waiting a long time, and we couldn't really go and watch the other matches because sorry, I got a bit of a hiccup going on because of the because obviously there's like a crowd of people. They aren't gonna want to see some random 17-year-old walk out in their gear to watch a different match and then see him later on. So it was I can't remember how many people it was. I think maybe 7 people in the match. Um, yeah, so planning for it is for those sort of matches where it's a lot of people, it's fairly easy. All you really have to do is get like how you're going to get eliminated, how you're going to eliminate other people, what like when you're going to get eliminated. Um, but as you'll find out, sometimes that can go wrong, especially with me. So we all went in at the same time, and just some people do things that they're not supposed to do, like accidentally hitting you in the face or in the nose, which isn't supposed to happen. You're not supposed to get hit in the
Yeah.
nose, especially when you don't know about it. Um, so I remember uh, I got whacked right in the nose. I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna mess with you anymore." I went off to this other guy, did we did our spots. We got these people out, and then it's like, oh, it's my turn. So when this is how it was supposed to go. One of the moves I do is an STO, obviously the sort of rock bottom deal. So I was gonna like tease one of those. I got the guy I was gonna he was gonna eliminate me. So basically how I eliminated the person before was I grabbed him, sort of like an STO thing, hit him in the corner, threw him out. Simple stuff. So that went well, but when it was time for my elimination, we planned. So I think he was gonna close on me. I was gonna grab him for STO. He's gonna elbow me and just toss me out. Pretty easy. Like, not, you're not gonna forget it. So you don't like want to forget something in a rumble as well. It'll make you look very stupid. Then you'll
Yeah.
probably get hit. Then you'll probably get hit in the face even more. Uh, but yeah. So I planned to do that, and so I was like fighting in the corner, stomping on Ryan, one of the other people in my amazing stable. And I was going off because I knew it was my spot to get eliminated. But one of the other guys in the match ran up to me, grabbed me, I think, like by the neck and by the trousers, and just tossed me over the top. And I had zero grip whatsoever. I went flying over there. And I think it was really obvious that it wasn't supposed to happen because I was like looking at the ref. I was like, did both my feet hit? I'm not sure. I think I'm holding on. But he's like, nah, just go to the back. And I remember being really annoyed at the time because the person that eliminated me ended up winning it, which was his first win. It was like well earned. He's been doing
Mhm.
it's a good craft he's been doing. But yeah, I remember getting to back and like, did you see that? No, obviously you didn't see that. Well, I'll tell you what happened. He started shooting on me, right? He tossed me right out. But yeah, I was really disappointed that I didn't get to do my really unimportant spot. It didn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of the match. The only thing that mattered was the finish, which apparently went really well. But so yeah, there's a a fun story for you about me getting shot on in the in the middle of a match, I guess.
That's perfect. So, what is so as a fan of pro wrestling, do you watch pro wrestling differently now that you've started training for it? Do you watch matches differently than the normal fan might?
Yeah, I think it's when you start training, even when you've done like only a few sessions, it's harder to watch matches as a fan. Um, but I guess it depends on the type of match it is. Like if it's like a super technical match, you can kind of watch it as like someone that's trying to learn from it. But if it's just full on like if it's like, for example, one of my favorite matches is TLC 2, the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian match. That's one of the matches you can watch as a fan.
Mhm.
Like all those big stipulation matches, I feel are fine watching as fans. Like Rumbles and all that sort of stuff, especially like ladder matches and stuff. The recent stuff that WWE have been doing, like the cinematic matches, especially those. I loved the Boneyard match. I loved the Firefly Funhouse match. I think they kind of took a step down with the Money in the Bank, but I still liked it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess it just depends on the match style, really, and I think it depends on who like the wrestlers are in it. Like if I think there's a difference between watching like Zack Saber Jr. in a match than watching the Great Khali in a match. You can kind of watch it in two different ways.
Uh-huh. Um, so in terms of your training, what keeps you going when you have a time where you might be in a rough spot or things might not be going your way? What keeps you going and keeps you motivated to keep training?
Hmm. God, I've never really thought about that. I don't really know. I just, for some reason, it hurts, but you keep coming back. It's like it's an addiction kind of thing, really. I think it's like when you I think like the first time I heard like a crowd when they like a crowd say my name, it's kind of like you kind of become hooked on it, really. Uh, well, they haven't really said my name since then, but you know, I'm still trying for it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it's when you like when you hear your music and you come out, you hear them chanting your name, and they're they're like rooting for you to win. They're rooting for you to beat the other guy. It's just something that you like. You strive to get. You strive to get better, and the better you get, the more reactions you're going to get. The more people know about you, the bigger that will get. Um, but yeah, I think like sometimes I've kind of thought, why am I still doing this? I'm not going to get anywhere. But you know, maybe it's kind of just trying to prove myself wrong, trying to prove other people wrong. Because I know that there are people that don't think I'll get anywhere with it. I don't care. I'll keep going. Yeah.
What's the locker room atmosphere like? Are like the older wrestlers, people who've been doing it longer, are they supportive? Are they very territorial? How might one feel being like a new person in your locker room?
It's um it's like a really helpful atmosphere. Like you can literally go up to anybody and ask something, get an honest and useful opinion as well. Um, there's especially the older people. You know, you can ask them anything and they'll be willing to help you out. Because I guess like why wouldn't someone want to hand down like their knowledge of something they're good at and help somebody else get better? But there's I was surprised at first because I thought there would be a lot more like competitiveness, uh, but there isn't really. It's all like a really supportive kind of thing, really friendly as well. Especially like you can pretty much like get to know someone that you've never met in a weekend because like the training sessions there, um, you can do like one-on-one kind of sessions, but there most people go to the monthly, like 2 whole days. So there's like a lot of people there. You can talk to loads of different people with like different opinions and different things that they want to do. And yeah, like I think I think like we're all the same, really. You know, we're all trying to do the same thing. So you just gotta try and help everybody else to do what you're trying to do.
What would you suggest to someone who might be wanting to get into training as a professional wrestler? How would you suggest someone go about doing that?
I don't know, just do it. You know, at least you gave it a go. I gave it a go. I'm still doing it. You've got to obviously you've got to research as well, like where you're gonna go, who's you, because you don't want to go somewhere that's not had any success. You want to go like I told you before, WAW run by the Knight family, obviously Paige's family, who also train Kip Sabian, and just there tons of tons of great wrestlers there. It's like it's hard to see a bad match there. Even like the YC, it's brilliant. Like some of the kids there are brilliant. They're better than me even. uh, and like people that have been doing it less than me, you know, you'll always get people really good. But yeah, research into where you're going, definitely. Um, plus you just need to put effort and give it a go because even if you fail, at least you gave it a go, and it's something interesting to talk about. Like if anyone ever asks you what you do, just I was a wrestler once, did that.
So this one of my final questions is very cliche, but what is your one match that you would show to anyone? Say you had a friend, not a pro wrestling fan, but he's like, "Hey, I think I might want to give it a try." And he said, "But you can show me one match, and this will just make or break if I'm going to be a wrestling fan or not." What match would you show him?
Uh, I'll probably go with some obvious ones. Probably one of my favorites. So I showed my mum some matches recently. Actually, I showed her the Boneyard match, and I showed her the Firefly Funhouse match because I didn't think she'd want to watch a normal wrestling match. So I showed her something really weird, something the complete opposite. But yeah, I might go with one of the triangle ladder matches between Edge and Christian, Hardy's and Dudley's. The second one, probably, I think that's commonly said as the best one. Maybe a Rumble. Rumbles are always good.
Mhm.
Or the one of the matches that I think is probably one of the at least like top 3 matches I've ever seen. The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. Uh, yeah, it's just a brilliant match. That was one of the like first. Actually, also Savage Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. That is also like one of the. That's one of the matches like anyone will say is an inspirational match. If you're a wrestler, if you're trying to get into it, that's one of the ones that you want to watch. Yeah, I'd say either like TLC 2, any Rumble really, even a bad Rumble's a good Rumble. Uh, yeah, or I think Rock and Hulk Hogan's a solid pick.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Is there anything you want to plug? You want to plug your social media, any websites, anything you want people to go check out?
Yeah, sure. I might as well. I think my Instagram right now is just Joseph Bell, as in just Joseph Bell. Um, yeah, even if you're not into wrestling, well, why would you be here if you weren't? I do a lot of like digital art stuff, which I'm also into. So there's that stuff as well to check out if you want to. WAWUK on Instagram. They also have a website, wawuk.com, which I think I've got right. The Facebook page, waw/Bellatrix fan page, all good stuff there. Their YouTube channel as well, which constantly churning out old matches because obviously they can't run shows now, so they're playing some old matches. Brilliant stuff. So let me just find that. I don't want to get the name wrong, just in case.
And I will put all those links down in the description so people can find it if
Lovely.
they want to.
There you go. It's WAW and Bellatrix TV, which I will send you the links to
Fantastic.
put in the description.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I think we got a really great insight into what it is to be someone training to be a pro wrestler. And I can at least speak for myself saying I'm really excited to see what you do in the future. I hope you're able to get back in the ring very soon. Hopefully this global crisis turns down. And thank you so much.
Thank you. I agree as well. I'm happy that you asked me to be here. I hope you make a lot more wrestling stuff. Like I said, I
Thank
think
you.
you make like really good stuff in
Thank
my
you.
opinion. Yeah, that's that.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. And everyone, thanks for watching and have a great day.